welcome to Your Dad Me a Hello. I am RJ. This is Mike. This is Andy. And we are Your Dad Me a Hello. You didn't ask for it, but we're here anyways. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for showing up every Thursday that we show up as well. And yeah, tonight's a good one. It's a good one. It's a whippersnapper of it.
A whippersnapper.
A whippersnapper. We're gonna tell some knee slapping jokes.
We've got some good oldies but goodies tonight.
They are certainly old, but they are good. Yeah.
Kevin just hit us with a what's up?
What's up? What commercial was that? Bud Light or Court?
Yeah, it was one of the Budweiser. Yeah.
Do I sound low? Do I sound too low? I'm bringing out a private chat moment again here.
Oh, sorry.
No, you sound good to me.
It was weird. It sounded like your Bluetooth microphones were picking up your voice because it was doing that weird like Bluetooth cut in, cut out thing when you were talking.
Now, if we all have Bluetooth capability, does that make it blue teeth?
Yes.
Because it's plural.
I think it's Bluetooths in this.
Thank you guys for joining tonight. I was hitting the wrong button. I was hitting the background button. It was going. I was like,
hey, hey, we're figuring things out, guys. It's only episode 43. It's still early.
Yeah. But hey, I'm excited. We've actually got a couple of different people watching. We've got our normal crew. Thank you very much. But we've also got Band Lab on tonight. And we've also got all of my kids downstairs watching live as well on the big screen. So hi to Riley, Liam, Eliza, and Jesse.
We'll be talking about TV shows that are 15 times older than your children.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm excited. This is the final episode of season 2 of You Dab Me a Hello. I know I just caused a couple of heart attacks for our loyal fans, but we are still here. But this is the final episode of season 2. What does that mean? What does that mean to say final episode of season 2? It means we're going to take a break. We're going to post on Facebook quite a bit in that time frame and just try to get some responses from you guys on what you'd like to see for season 3, whether that be topics or different segments, or maybe tell us to just stop doing it, whatever you want to do. But what we're going to do is get ready, and then we'll premiere our first episode of season 3 sometime in October, which we will post that date obviously as soon as we know. It won't be a very long break, but just enough for us to kind of get settled and figure out how we want to continue to make this show even better than it was. As you could tell, season 1 to season 2, there was a lot of changes. We added Mike into season 2, and we added StreamYard, which is where we, you're seeing us live streaming. And so we made quite a few improvements from day 1. Episode 1 was Andy and I on a Skype call, and it's come a long way. So, are you guys excited about season 3? Wow. Okay.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
Andy, it looked like you were gonna say something.
I'm still like in shock that because he said it. This was the last episode. And I was like, what? I was like, this is how I find out. It's kind of weird that we're ending on such an odd number. Do you ever like end on an odd number? And you're like, it just doesn't feel right. Like we're on 43. It just seems weird. Yeah, crickets exactly. No, I think we already have some ideas of what season 3 would look like. Some cool stuff coming along. I already like Mike's idea of putting the memes out. I hope everybody's enjoying those. Keeps our mind fresh too when we try to come up with some funny stuff. Try to out funny each other. Funny. Yeah, funny.
Yeah, I have to give credit where credit is due. That is all Mike and Andy. I have contributed nothing in the last week or so. I've been sick. So
what that means is RJ doesn't think any of those memes are funny and wants to distance himself as far as possible.
No, I did appreciate them, and no, they were good. I feel bad. I have not contributed at all to the podcast.
Your dad appreciates them.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was the only comment on that meme too. Was
It
like
was.
that thing. What?
What?
I'm
know a
sure
joke
that's
is golden when the only comment is what?
I'm sure that joke is actually. I'm sure what he said was actually his joke, and we just don't get that.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
probably.
You're
I
right.
was way funnier than the actual meme. So
Maybe
Yeah.
the reaction was like, "What? You guys are hilarious." Maybe that.
Wait a
That's
minute.
true. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. Thought in my head right now. I got to say it out loud. What if for season 3 we have a segment of just like 30 seconds of your dad?
What was that? 30
about, like,
seconds. 30
give me
seconds.
a
Of what?
It would just get 30.
Oh, okay.
Pre-recorded.
Just RJ's dad.
Uh,
just
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like we'll film like an hour 30 seconds.
Andy, you're cutting in and out on us on the season finale here.
Oh
This
man.
is not good.
No.
But,
Okay.
but yeah,
No.
Yeah, I'm excited for season 3. Obviously, we don't want to divert too much from the
Now the
formula.
Wi-Fi is.
Oh God, we're losing Andy, or he's getting abducted by aliens because he lives in the middle of nowhere.
Oh man. Well, hey, this is a crap show for the last season finale, so I'm very excited about it. But yeah, tonight what are we talking about? We're talking about the top. Andy is like 10 minutes behind, laughing at my other joke.
I'm here.
All right, I got you. We are talking about the top Nick at Night shows. For people who are like, "What's Nick at Night?" Where have you been? Nick at Night is the adult version. That sounds really bad.
No, it's
Nickelodeon.
not. It's not an adult version. It's
It was the more, I don't know. It was the classic.
yeah.
Shows.
It was the shows that they didn't think the kids would enjoy.
Well, even though that's all I watched, but yeah. So let's just show them the adult list of shows. That we so we've got everything from All in the Family all the way down to Bewitched. There were plenty of shows that could have been on here, and I'm actually I'm really actually angry about some of the shows that didn't make it on. So we'll talk about that as well. But if you see your show on here, you got to fight for it. Feel free to comment. Feel free to let us know how you feel. But I feel pretty good about a lot of these. I do love a lot of these shows. Yeah. As a kid, I was watching these. I didn't watch a lot of cartoons. I watched Power Rangers and Boy Meets World and stuff. But for older shows, that was where it was at for me. Or classic shows. Sorry, I shouldn't say older. But yeah, so.
These shows stand the test of time.
There we go.
They do. All right. Well, hey, here we are. This is it. Here's our first bracket. It is All in the Family versus I Dream of Jeannie. All in the Family had 9 seasons, 205 episodes, and it started back in 1971. And then I Dream of Jeannie had 5 seasons, and that started in 1965. So what do you guys think? All in the Family, I Dream of Jeannie.
Don't forget that All in the Family also spawned 7 spin-off shows.
7 spin-offs?
7.
What are those shows that it's
we're going into the notes already. Let's go then.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Well, you piqued my interest.
Yeah. No, hold on. You
I got him too.
Oh, you got him. Okay. Oh, wait, here it is. The Jeffersons.
I didn't know if I was 10 minutes behind.
Maude, Good Times, Archie Bunker's Place, Gloria, and 702 Hauser Street. All after.
I've heard of a couple of those. Couple of those.
Yeah, some of those didn't last.
What was Maude?
Checking In. That was another one.
Oh, was Maude like the woman from Golden Girls? It was B. Arthur. Yeah. Well, now I'm confused. Yeah, okay. I don't think I ever watched Maude. I feel like I'm going to annoy some of our listeners, but I have not seen that. But I do. Golden Girls is great. But
the only Maude I know is Maude Flanders.
I don't know who that is.
Come on.
It looks like our fan base is very loyal to VR.
As they should be.
They all know who that is, but.
All in the family for me on this one.
Okay. All right. Andy, how about you?
Oh, man. I like both these shows a lot, but I'm also going to go with All in the Family.
All right. That makes it easy for me. I actually watched more of I Dream of Jeannie, but actually it was only because it was on before and after my other favorite shows. So it wasn't, neither of these shows were really my favorite, but all right, well, that's it. All in the Family is moving on. What do you guys think about I Dream of Jeannie, though?
I didn't.
What is it like this
show? Yeah. That was that one.
Like nodded and blinked.
That was that one.
Yeah. So actually, just in case there are listeners that have no idea what we're talking about, I Dream of Jeannie, just to remind everyone, was about an astronaut who falls in love with a 2,000-year-old genie. Yes, this actually was a show that was on for 5 seasons.
I had a fever dream like that.
Yeah.
Barbara Eden played Jeannie, the I Dream of Jeannie. Get it, Jeannie in a bottle.
She also played her evil twin sister.
See, I didn't get that deep into the show to understand that that's what happened there. Man, now that I'm thinking more and more about this show, I can't think of one thing that happened I Dream of Jeannie. But.
Yeah, that was one of the things that sort of led to my decision as well. As I can't really pinpoint like a specific episode that sticks out in my mind, or a specific scene, or anything that really makes me think about the show besides what Andy was demonstrating earlier. The whole thing. But yeah. I'm sure if I watch it now, it's still good. There's a reason why it's a classic. A lot of the notes that I have are about the censorship on the show. They wouldn't allow Barbara Eden's character to show her belly button, but they didn't care about cleavage or anything like that, which I thought was kind of funny. And they were never allowed to be in the same room with a closed door. So anytime they were in the same room, the door had to be open, or if one of the characters left a room, they had to leave the door open. So there was no insinuation that they were doing any funny business, which I thought was pretty funny. Funny business. And the old bottle that shows up on the show a whole bunch of times is just a Jim Beam decanter that they spent a couple $100 on to paint and decorate. Which is pretty funny.
All right. So if my kids are still listening, yes, there was a show about a 2,000-year-old genie and an astronaut who fell in love. And eventually they marry. So I'm sure my kids are sitting there going, that sounds like an awesome show.
Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah. Well, that's it. All in the Family is moving on. Next up, we've got I Love Lucy versus, this is a hard one, guys. You ready for this? The Wonder Years. I Love Lucy versus The Wonder Years.
This isn't difficult for me, so I'll let you guys talk this one out.
All right. Well, just a reminder. Did someone leave? Oh, Andy is gone.
Andy's gone.
It's only me talking. I Love Lucy started in 1951, had 6 seasons, 180 episodes, and then The Wonder Years ran for 6 seasons with 115 episodes. You might remember the song from The Wonder Years being Joe Cocker's With a Little Help from My Friends. I did watch both of these. I really did like both of them. Hold on. I think Andy's coming back in here. There he is.
Andy's nervous about making his decision, so he had to go.
That's true. Yeah.
I said something and then I disappeared. So that's usually what happens. What did you guys pick?
No, we waited in silence for you to return.
Okay.
Not a word was spoken.
We asked everyone to take a bathroom break and please come back when they're done.
I did a speed test.
We can go.
I did a speed test and literally like my download's like under 0.03.
Oh no.
I am in a dead zone right now. I'm going with the Wonder Years.
Okay, yeah, no, there you go. Yeah, for me, it's super hard because I feel like the Wonder Years and I Love Lucy are so different. They're such different shows, and I like them for very different reasons. The Wonder Years being a bit more drama based, I Love Lucy being a bit more slapstick comedy. I mean, Lucille Ball, first off, you know, great facial expressions, great reactions. You know, and then you had, you know, her friend, you know, Vivian Vance was on there. I mean, Desi Arnaz, he's the man.
Yeah.
You know, as well. I mean, literally the man on the show, but also the man.
Also her husband.
Also, yeah. But yeah, it's such a great show. And forgive me, was this the show that turned black and white and then into color at some point as well? I feel like the show had both. Because I remember it being in black and white, but I also remember it, some of it being in color. I'm looking it up now, but it does look like they do air a couple of colorized episodes now. I don't know if it happened at the time. But,
yeah, I don't think during production it was. There is a show on this list that was the final show filmed in black and white. And then the second season was in color. And then they went back and redid the first season. Okay.
Yeah.
But this was not
my choice on this one is actually.
Don't do it, RJ. Don't do it.
I'm gonna go. I don't know. How about you? Do you know? What would you choose, Mike?
I Love Lucy all the way on this one.
But why? Why I Love Lucy over the Wonder Years? You seem very confident about this answer.
I didn't watch a lot of Wonder Years growing up. I didn't quite understand the show. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm dumb, but I don't understand the show. I didn't get why it was so popular. I Love Lucy, you know, as a kid watching it in syndication, like it's funny. It's still funny. It's funny to everyone. It has a universal appeal to pretty much anyone because of the slapstick, because of all the ridiculous moments that they put Lucille Ball in, her banter with her and Desi. You know, it's just funny. It's a great show. Not to take away from the Wonder Years, but you know, I really didn't start appreciating that show until, you know, maybe 10 years ago or something.
Well, it does look like the majority of our audience agrees with you here with I Love Lucy. I'm going to go with I Love Lucy as well. I wanted to go for the Wonder Years because I do think that's a show that I would watch today and still be into. I don't think I'd be into I Love Lucy anymore. But I do remember a whole lot more of I Love Lucy than I do the Wonder Years. I just don't think that I watched enough of it. There might be a day I go back and watch the whole thing. There's also a reboot of the Wonder Years that started this week. I have the first episode on my watch list that I'm going to try out, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, I Love Lucy, I think, is going to move on this one. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite of you guys, where I think I watched more. I know I watched more of the Wonder Years than I did I Love Lucy. I actually tried to watch an episode of I Love Lucy the other night and didn't really enjoy it. I fell asleep during it as well. I
get it, man. You don't get it.
I feel like the facial expressions were kind of over the top. I think a lot of that kind of stuff at that time was over the top and that was the funny.
Oh no!
Oh, he's gone again.
Andy was making a case.
Yeah, he was. Well, hey, thank you for all the comments, by the way. Evelyn's Gate, that's a new name. I feel like that's either a person or you're trying to have us join your cult. I'm not sure which one, but
I think it's a band. I want to say it's a band.
Oh, it could be a band. That sounds better than...
They have a Fender Stratocaster. It looks like is that a 1954?
That's true.
Reissue?
Is there a comet coming anytime soon?
I hope not.
Join Evelyn's Gate.
I am drinking some Kool-Aid related products, so I hope that's not.
I feel like we're offending all of our cult followers. I apologize, but
this is freaking horrible.
Andy, is your phone charged? Because that seems to work better than your computer sometimes.
That's what's.
I love how the comments keep popping up every time Andy disappears.
This is a game now.
He keeps getting genie out
next
of
time it happens. All right. Well, hey, I Love Lucy. Wait, what were we just talking about? Yeah, I Love Lucy moved on. The Wonder Years did not. Andy, you were in the middle of a diet.
It doesn't matter anymore. I've lost all train of thought. I'm out of it here.
I mean,
well,
I've got some notes on the Wonder Years accolades to really talk about how great the show really was. It premiered after the Super Bowl in 1988. It won its first Emmy Award after only airing 6 episodes, which is pretty amazing. And at the age of 13, Fred Savage was the youngest lead actor to be nominated for an Emmy Award. Yeah, it was a pretty revolutionary show, well written. Daniel Stern directed, of Home Alone fame. So great show.
It's got an all-star cast. I mean, almost everybody's gone on to do really awesome things. Fred Savage is the man. His brother was on Boy Meets World as Corey Matthews. Dan Laria was on it, if that's how you say his last name, who played Jack. And then even like the wife, Allie Mills, is really good. Who's the other person? Danica McKellar. Went on to do some cool things after that. Not to mention, like you said, I had forgotten that the Daniel Stern was involved with this. He's also the voice of Kevin as an adult, the show's narrator, and it's just funny to think of that same person from Home Alone.
From Home Alone.
But yeah,
his son was also the voice in the finale of the voice of the child in the finale, cool. Which is really cool. Yeah.
So yeah, the Wonder Years reboot just started this week, and I think that's on. Is that on ABC as well? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's ABC.
But it looks really, really good. Essentially, it's inspired by the series, and it's going to follow EJ in Montgomery, Alabama, in the late '60s, and Don Cheadle is the narrator for this one. So Don Cheadle's the man too. So
like Don Cheadle.
Yeah, and Fred Savage is an executive producer on this, so that's pretty cool. And so is Lee Daniels, who does a ton of stuff as well. So yeah, I'm excited about it. But yeah, that's it. It got really quiet. I think that Andy just muted himself.
Andy did mute himself.
I'm trying to set up on my phone, and now the damn mic on my phone is like, you don't exist. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Well, next up, we've got Happy Days versus the Brady Bunch.
Oh,
this is another tough choice for the audience here today. The Happy Days versus the Brady Bunch. Happy Days was 11 seasons. 255 episodes. That started way back in 1974. And that actually went on for a good 10 years or so. And then the Brady Bunch started in 69, and that was 5 seasons, 117 episodes. What do you guys think?
This is a tough one. I'm going to go with the Brady Bunch. This is a real
tough one. Yeah. Brady Bunch. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm actually going to do the opposite. I'm gonna go with
the other show, Happy Days.
No, I was thinking in my head like I was going to say Happy Days because I mean it's an all-star cast. Again, I mean you've got Ron Howard, who's basically the man in film. You've got Marion Ross. You've got Henry Winkler, who's the man. Even Pat Morita was involved. Scott Baio was involved. It's got a lot, but I remember more from the Brady Bunch. I don't know if it's just because I was super into Partridge Family and Brady Bunch. Like I watched a lot of those all the time. Look, it's Andy twice.
Oh, Andyception.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Your phone camera looks great, by the way. I'm kind of jealous.
A very good camera, yeah.
I'm jealous.
Should I get rid of the other one and just always have you up there?
Yeah, kick me out of the other one.
No, I'm not going to do it. Hey.
Well, no,
Andy too isn't really the same Andy. I told you he got abducted by aliens. They cloned him and they put another Andy back in his place.
Let's see how this goes.
That's what happened.
You sound crappier, but you look better. So it's all good.
Wow.
Yeah, you
just have to look good for the camera.
That's right.
Wow,
you look good.
It's very clear.
Wow.
Clear. But anyways, hey, we're talking about Happy Days. We're talking about the Brady Bunch. Here it is again for people who need to read it. But I think I'm going to choose the Brady Bunch as well, Andy. Mike, how does that make you feel?
Upset because I really like Happy Days. I used to watch Happy Days all the time. Brady Bunch I would watch just because it was on. Oh man, Happy Days is so good though.
So this is not a happy day for you.
No. This happy day is not yours or mine.
I'm having so many issues.
You know what's funny is so I'm not feeling well. I said that in the beginning of the episode, and I was like trying my hardest not to cancel on you guys tonight. And now it's Andy who's having the tough night. I'm actually feeling a little better.
I almost had to work tonight. So this almost didn't happen 3 times.
Wow, look at that.
This is like the worst podcast ever that we've ever done.
I think it's pretty hilarious. I mean, the audio version might be a little confusing for people, but
we're throwing a
curveball. Listens to the audio version.
We're on our heels right now, so we're trying to keep it lively here.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the fact that again, I know we killed Happy Days. I apologize, Tony. But let's talk about Happy Days for a little bit because it is a great show and great song. Excuse me. So yeah, what do you guys think about the Happy Days?
So some of the facts I have here. Apparently, the show was supposed to be set in the 20s and not the 50s. But he told them that he didn't know anything about flappers. Which is funny because we were talking about that before we even started the show. All right, hold on, get myself lined up here. But he said he knew a whole bunch about the 1950s because that was the time that he grew up. So a lot of the show is actually based on some of his friends that he grew up with or some of the other kids in the neighborhood, which is really cool. Fonzie was almost played by the Monkees drummer, Mickey Dolenz, not Mikey. Why did I say Mikey? I'm Mikey. And they thought
I'm Mikey.
They thought for sure he was going to get the job because he is over 6 feet tall and a handsome guy. But apparently that's why he didn't get it, because he was too tall standing next to Ron Howard. So he didn't get the gig.
They're like, hey, you're ugly.
Yeah. And apparently Henry Winkler can't read, which I didn't know. So yeah, he's dyslexic, so he had a hard time reading the script. So everything you muted yourself, RJ, I don't know why. So all of his
my joke again now.
Okay, good. So his whole audition was just off the cuff, and they were like, that's not what the script says. And he's like, yeah, I'm just trying to give you the essence of the character and how I would act it out, but I promise you, if you give me the part, I'll do it exactly as it's written. And he got the part. So I guess he had to figure it out. But good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, a lot of really cool people on the show, too. I also had forgotten that Mork and Mindy was a spinoff from this show, which doesn't make any sense to me. But Mork, Robin Williams appeared in 2 episodes as Mork from Ork. And also Frankie Avalon was in this. Tom Hanks was in this as well.
That's right.
As a character seeking revenge on Fonzie for pushing him off a swing when the 2 of them were in 3rd grade. And so, but I didn't remember enough of this show. That's
great show.
But Happy Days was also directed from season 3 on by Jerry Paris. Jerry Paris played Jerry Helper on the Dick Van Dyke Show, The Neighbor. And also directed a bunch of episodes on Dick Van Dyke as well, which is one of my favorites.
Is that foreshadowing?
Forgot to mention that his full name is Arthur Herbert Fonzarelli.
His last name was almost Masharelli, actually. but they didn't like the way.
I didn't know if that was a joke or not. So
no, that's a real thing.
Then he would have been the Mash.
Yeah, he would have been the Mash, and they didn't like the way that sounded, so they changed it to the Fonz.
I feel like that's going to be my new nickname now.
The Mash?
Mash. All right, well, hey, moving on. This is our last one here. Dick Van Dyke versus Bewitched. Dick Van Dyke being 1961, and that was 5 seasons with 158 episodes. And Bewitched was 8 seasons in 1964 for 254 episodes. Both of these had black and white and color episodes. But with Dick Van Dyke, I think it was just one reunion episode. Plus, Dick Van Dyke is now colorized on Paramount Plus.
Oh, here we go again. Here we go. Just talking about how much $5 he has to throw around.
$4.99. There's no taxes included.
You know what I was just realizing?
No.
I think I often confuse Bewitched with I Dream of Jeannie.
Yes. Yeah.
It's possible.
I don't know why, because they're very different shows, but I agree.
Yeah.
It does.
I would, because when we were talking about I Dream of Jeannie, I was like, oh yeah, then the mom. I was like, no, that's Bewitched. I was like, oh man, I am like, I'm all confused. I'm doing awful today.
All right, so he just gave up. So I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with. Well, I know I'm gonna go with Dick Van Dyke. It's the best show on this list by far. And I hope
that's debatable.
The end, even though I don't think
that's why we're here.
That's exactly why we're here.
I know. Yeah, no, Dick Van Dyke is by far my favorite show. Bewitched, again, was on after something else. I think it was on after Saved by the Bell or Gilligan's Island every morning before I went to school. Not on Nick at Night, but on another channel. And so I always saw the beginning of it, and then I had to go to school. But I wasn't a huge fan of Bewitched. Elizabeth Montgomery, was the lead along with Dick York. And I don't remember, was this the one where they changed the husbands? It was. Yeah.
So Dick York had to leave the show. He sustained an injury while he was filming a movie.
Oh, okay.
So he quite never really got over it. And then as his career went on, it just got worse and worse. So I guess at one point during the filming of an episode, he had gone to the doctors to get some medicine for his back pain, but his regular doctor wasn't there. So they just gave him like a whole bunch of vitamin B12 for some reason. I'm not sure, if there's any doctors around, is that supposed to help with back pain? But I guess between that and like the heat in the studio from under the lights, he ended up having a seizure, and they took him to the hospital and never came back. He didn't die, but he just never went back to the set. So then Dick York got replaced with different Dick. Dick Sargent.
That was accurate in more than one way.
Oh, my word. Sorry, this comment made me laugh a bunch of times too, but by myself. So but no, excuse me. Bewitched. One of the reasons also that every time I think of Bewitched, I get angry is because they made a 2005 film with Nicole Kidman and Will Ferrell.
It was so bad.
The New York Times called it an unmitigated disaster.
It was so bad.
It's a financial disappointment. But yeah, it's a terrible movie, and I love Will Ferrell. It's so bad.
It sounds like we all hate Bewitched, so we're all just going with Dick Van Dyke.
No. I liked Bewitched from what I remember as a kid. I didn't really watch Dick Van Dyke a lot when I was younger. However, I watched an episode the other night to kind of refresh my memory, and it was a damn good show. So in the Battle of the Dicks, I'm gonna give it to Dick Van Dyke.
That's right. There's a third one.
There's
RJ keeps muting himself for some reason. Anytime he's trying to tell a joke.
It's because I'm coughing a little bit. I'm still not feeling good. I don't want to cough into the thing, but then I tell a joke and I'm still on mute.
I thought your computer knew when you were trying to tell a joke, and I was just like, nah.
Yeah, no, I mean, by far, Van Dyke is the best dick of all. But like,
Google it.
Yeah, Google who's the best dick of all.
We'll do a bracket. That's the first episode in season 3.
In season 3 we're gonna have a segment called Google It, and it's just gonna be Andy telling you to Google something highly inappropriate.
No, we could do a battle of the dicks. Dick Van Dyke, Dick York, Dick Sargent, Dick.
But you don't want to just Google battle of the dick. Like, you don't need to do that. You need to include the rest of the name.
Oh, you know how like you put hashtags, right, on the different things. So you put hashtag battle of the dicks.
I feel like we've reached our quota of dicks and we can't use that anymore. Like, it's just too many for this one. Plus, I don't know if my kids are awake or not yet, but that's a name. It's a name.
Can we put Richard Karn in here? Does that count?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Anyways,
I don't think so, Tim.
Anything else to say about Bewitched?
No, I'm good.
I'm yelling. Am I yelling? I feel like I'm yelling.
You're fine. Who says you're yelling?
Me. I just feel like I'm yelling. Maybe it's because I can't hear. Anyways, Bewitched is moving on. I got nothing else to say about that. We're finally in the top 4.
Bewitched is moving out.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, Bewitched is moving out.
You said moving on.
Yeah, don't confuse us. We're easily confused.
Yeah.
You're right, Tony.
Anyways, here we are.
Please don't cancel us.
We have All in the Family, The Brady Bunch, I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke. Now, this isn't a battle of the classic shows. If it was a battle of the classic shows, there'd probably be a whole lot more on here. These are shows that appeared on the Nick at Night network up until the year 2000. We decided to cut it off at 2000 because we were pretty much done with high school by 02, 03. And so our time of watching Nick at Night was more in the 90s and 80s. So any show that appeared on the Nick at Night network, and this is the 4 that we've had: All in the Family, Brady Bunch, I Love Lucy, and Dick Van Dyke. How do you guys feel about that?
It's good final 4.
Yeah. Strong.
I mean, the top 8 was pretty strong coming out of the gate too. So, I don't think
I'm a little put off because a lot of my favorite shows Andy hasn't seen, so they didn't get put on there.
Fair enough.
Mike, did you?
RJ, 8 spots. We only got 8 spots.
I know, but I don't watch.
You don't want All in the Family in there.
I don't like All in the Family.
Why do you not? All in the Family is so good. So we know what.
Here it is.
We know what's losing this round then.
Versus I Love Lucy. Well, not really, because I'm the only one who said I don't like All in the Family. I don't know where you guys are going, but All in the Family versus I Love Lucy. How do y'all feel?
All in the Family.
I Love Lucy.
Oh, why?
I knew, Mike.
You got to choose Lucy, or you got to put those sneakers on. You're done.
Sneakers? Am I missing something here?
It was a cult joke.
Oh, okay. Right.
RJ's a meathead.
Meathead.
Is that an All in the Family joke? That's an All in the
Family. That is an All.
Yeah. That's what Archie used to call Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Reiner.
I feel like you need to listen to our listeners here, and they are all saying, I Love Lucy, except for Lori Jacques, who says All in the Family.
I've watched both of these shows equally. So this is like a 50-50 for me.
All right.
I Love Lucy has the cool, like, what's the little chocolate, like, ramp thing that's going over, and they got to pick all the stuff out or whatever.
Yeah.
Come on, that in itself.
Okay, but which show had the first toilet flush in American primetime television?
Yeah, or the first full frontal male nudity.
What?
It was All in the Family. Yeah, it was a 3-month-old baby.
I was like, what's going on? I missed this.
If we're going on,
they literally they showed the Van Dyke everything.
Yeah, it was all there. It was all there.
I feel like they should sue like Nirvana.
That person might not even be alive anymore. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Well, they can make some money.
This is
Bugs come out my nose.
This is a very, very tough decision for me. Oh man, I'm looking at my notes, but it's not helping. It's really not helping.
Who was it? Who posted a comment that said that All in the Family, was it Zeke? Is that All in the Family?
Yeah.
On a lot of important topics where I Love Lucy was just fun. I think that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if I Love Lucy ever touched on anything.
Yeah, I feel both of these shows were revolutionary for different reasons. I Love Lucy for, you know, the multi-camera setup that we're all used to today on TV, like sitcoms and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like All in the Family nowadays, I think, is misconstrued for what it actually represented. You know, if you're just looking at the show for face value, of course, Archie's a big jerk and, you know, racist and all that stuff, but he was intentionally made that way to create conflict so that there were conversations being had. Everyone's gonna hate me, but I gotta go with All in the Family. I just upset everyone. I know I did. We just lost 90% of the viewers and one co-host. RJ's quitting after this week.
I mean, you know, Lori's with you.
Yeah, well, she's the reason why I watched it.
I never really liked it. I've tried to give it a shot. I don't know. I never understood it as a kid. I didn't really get the appeal of it. Thank you for changing my name.
Absent Andy.
Yeah, and even just watching it the other night, I was kind of like it was fun. It was a little bit funny, but it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I watched the wrong episode. But I understand its importance in history of television and why it appealed to so many people. It was definitely ahead of its time.
Yeah, I Love Lucy made it to the top 4. It deserved to be there. It's it's out now.
So TV Guide in what was it 89, I think, or no, I don't know what year. So TV Guide's 50 greatest TV shows of all time. I Love Lucy came in at number 2, behind Seinfeld. So
they ruined that list already.
So
yeah, I do not
obviously
like that
it's
show.
debatable. I don't know what year they came out with that one, so I don't know if they revised that, what they did. And
I don't care what they have to say anymore.
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
TV Guide. What do they know about TV?
Yeah. Except for what time shows come on.
Probably thought Three Ninjas Kick Back was the best movie ever made, too.
I mean, you did.
You do, yeah.
Surf Ninjas, that's where it's at.
Oh.
Ernie Reyes Jr., that's right.
Could we do a whole episode on just movies that contain ninjas?
We should
I would do American Ninja 2, The Final Confrontation.
Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley.
So good.
Michael Dudikoff.
What?
American Ninja 2. Please tell me you've seen American Ninja 2. American Ninja 2 is about 2 rangers who go to Hawaiian Island to fight bioengineered ninjas on a beach.
Sounds like something I'd watch.
It's amazing. And it's like the fight scenes are actually pretty good. It's not over the top bad like what's Samurai Cop or whatever.
Samurai Cop or Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yeah, that's got to be up there.
This one was legit like decent for
now
1992 or something like that.
Now that's a Google it that you should actually go Google is Samurai Cop.
Samurai Cop's
Samurai
good.
Cop, yes.
Yeah.
Just do a Samurai Cop compilation. That's all
on YouTube. Yeah, go to YouTube and type
YouTube it. YouTube
it. Yeah, YouTube it, bro.
All right, well, hey, moving on before we start Googling other things. All in the Family has made it into the finals, and we now have the Brady Bunch versus Dick Van Dyke. 2 huge names in the TV world, but for me, 100% Dick Van Dyke. I know you guys are going to disappoint me, but let's go for it. Andy, what say you?
I will never disappoint you, RJ. But I am going with the Brady Bunch.
I didn't even want the Brady Bunch to beat Happy
Days. Well, then
Days.
go for Dick Van Dyke then.
I am
revenge.
I am voting Dick Van Dyke forward
Whoa.
because I think that Happy Days is better than the Brady Bunch, and you guys, man.
Dick Van Dyke, first off.
RJ, you're literally living the Brady Bunch right now, in reality.
That's true.
It's kind of true, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have 4 kids. I don't have... How many do they have?
They're getting up there.
They have 6 kids.
6 kids. Now I'm thinking about it. It's funny. That's not even that big of a family anymore. But
No,
I'm gonna move in with you guys as well. So
they're no Duggars or
Oh my goodness! Let's not even get started on that.
Yeah,
that's
another episode. It'll be. Can we do shows with a lot of kids? So it'll be like shows with tons of kids. That sounds all right. Forget it. Moving on.
There's like 3 shows.
No, there's not. The Duggars, the Plath family. The John and Kate +8.
Don't do reality though. Like you can't do reality shows. That's like garbage.
These all sound like shows I don't care about.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They got like 100 kids too. 6 kids.
Oh gosh.
I mean, hilarious.
But yeah, I have 4. 4. Once you hit 4, I feel like we could just keep going, but I don't. We're done. That's it.
I'm done at 2. I mean,
Andy's done at 1, I think, right? It's just one and done.
We're done.
But anyways, Brady Bunch, Dick Van Dyke. Dick Van Dyke has made it on. We'll talk more about that in a second. But what do you guys think about the Brady Bunch? Brady Bunch being recognized as, one of the greatest shows, probably of all time. Not for any good reasons, in my opinion. I mean, it's a show. It's not. It didn't revolutionize anything, but. No. Everybody knows it, especially that credit sequence of, the 9, clips. I wish we could have one more person in here. We could do it ourselves.
So I wouldn't say that they didn't revolutionize anything. I mean, there's a lot of moments that are not forgotten about, like Jan breaking her nose, things like that. The blended family concept, like that was still kind of like, things that were, I don't know, not really talked about a lot, right?
That's true. The Brady Bunch got hate for it back in the day. Now I'm getting hate for it now.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they ever talked about Carol's first marriage. They did talk about like Mike's first wife had died. Even like I think divorce at that time was like largely taboo. So they, things like that weren't really discussed at all. This was also a show that they had a lot of spin-offs, like movies. I mean, I forget, like the Hawaiian episode. I'm thinking of the tiki thing. Like that was a fun episode. Didn't they have records out too? They sang, like they had songs. Yep. Even going into was it the 90s? They did a movie. Very Brady, they redid it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So it was. I think they did it like on purpose, like the cheese-tastic kind of a thing, So
a little raunchy. It was it was R or PG-13, right?
Yeah, Alice is in the kitchen at one point, and Sam the butcher comes out. And they're like, "Oh, hey Sam, we didn't see you come in." He's like, "I was just delivering some meat." So there's that. So it does have that cheese factor to it, but it is a show that, whether you liked it or not, you still remembered, moments from the show, or at least the concept of the show. So it does go down in history as, one of the top shows of all time in my opinion.
And it's still going strong today. I'm not on mute, right? Okay. It's still going strong today too. You have a Very Brady musical that happened in 2020. They did a Very Brady renovation, which was in 2018, where they reunited for HGTV, which was a bunch of the people from there, including Barry Williams. And then just recently on this little streaming network called Paramount Plus,
I never heard of that.
They celebrated Pride Month by combining Brady Bunch people with RuPaul's Drag Race. I had not seen that. It does not sound too amazing to me, but they are still around, and it's on Paramount Plus. So.
Well, what was the husband's name? Was that
Mike?
Oh yeah, was it Robert?
His real
Reed?
name was Robert Reed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who I think he came out to. Didn't he come out to Florence Henderson? Because they were having some scenes together, and he was kind of uncomfortable. I think I was reading like, so they kind
Oh,
of.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You mean in real life, Robert Reed?
Yes.
Oh, that I did not know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't giving up.
Oh. There you guys knew that.
No.
That's
Anyways, all right. Well, there it is.
One thing I didn't remember about the show was that the bathroom had no toilet in it.
I didn't know that. Also, the dog died in like the first season.
Yeah,
and from that point on, they only used the dog when they needed to because they couldn't find a good dog after that.
Yeah. What's funny is, it's not funny that the dog got hit by a car. But
you know what's hilarious about it, Jeff? Let's talk about it.
They had to go find a dog like that day, so they went to a bunch of like dog shelters and stuff, and no one could tell the difference until they actually had to film scenes with the dog, and the only way they could get it to sit still was to like nail its leash to the ground.
Oh.
So bad.
Well, hey, we're here in the finals. This is it. Record time, by the way, too. So if you're trying to get to bed early, people, this is the day. We are here with the finals. It is All in the Family versus Dick Van Dyke. All in the Family, Dick Van Dyke. Let's talk about each one real quick here. So All in the Family. Again, for people, maybe there are people who might not have seen any of these shows, but this show was obviously about Archie Bunker and his family. It revolved around a working class father. It kind of broke ground by talking a lot about racism and infidelity and homosexuality and even things like women's liberation and everything about, rape, religion, miscarriages, abortion, breast cancer, Vietnam War, everything. And it was doing things I think that a lot of shows were not doing at that point. All the things I just named, they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And on Dick Van Dyke, they had to sleep in separate beds. So it was very different shows. But it wasn't my type of show. So I don't remember a ton about the show. I remember the beginning. Those were the days, the opening theme song, which was actually sung by them, which I found to be awesome.
Yeah.
But that's it.
I was gonna say, if you've never seen that show, but you've watched Family Guy, then you'll know what the inspiration was for their theme music was.
Family.
And Gene Stapleton, who played Edith, kind of has this singing that doesn't really sound like singing. It's high pitched kind of a thing, but actually she was a professionally trained and accomplished singer. So there you go, folks. She can actually sing, even if you've heard that song. But the way she did it is memorable. So, and yeah, everything that you said, RJ, about just kind of the groundbreaking things that they were talking about at that time, puts them at a different level than other shows at that time and even before and after. So,
yeah, Mike,
and it's still funny today.
Yeah, it is. I still think it's relevant. And the fact that the show, kind of dates back, it was inspired by a show called Till Death Do Us Part that actually was on the BBC and ran for 10 years, starting in 1965. That had a similar premise. It wasn't exactly the same show. Didn't quite touch on some of the same subjects. But, it just goes to show that, this formula, really does stand the test of time. And, Andy, your point to the relevancy, it's really eye-opening to go back and watch a show like that and some of the stuff that they were saying and talking about. And I guess for lack of a better explanation, getting away with back then, there's some stuff that you wouldn't hear half of the stuff on TV nowadays that they talked about in All in the Family, like no doubt. You would have social justice warriors all over you. Your show would get canceled in a minute. But the way that the show talked about it, there was always like an aha moment or, a moment of understanding between whatever character was, having a whether it was an internal conflict or, what was going on. There was a reason behind the things they were talking about. And that says a lot about, what TV can do and what media can do, and not just be garbage reality TV like we see nowadays. Like we talked about, was that last week? Yeah, last week we talked about how crappy some of this TV can turn into. We're kind of missing stuff like this nowadays for sure.
Yeah. Also, on the guy who plays Meathead is actually Jessica Dace from the New Girl's dad.
Yep,
among
Reiner.
many other things, including the director of some of the most amazing movies of all time, including Princess Bride, This Is Spinal Tap, Misery, The Bucket List, The American President. The dude's been everywhere, so that's pretty cool too. Sally Struthers was also in that as well. But I'm going to talk about my favorite TV show right now, the Dick Van Dyke Show. I loved this show. Dick Van Dyke was on this. Mary Tyler Moore was on
No, he
this.
was not.
It was produced by Carl Reiner, created by Carl Reiner. But I loved everything about this show, from the multiple intros of being, having him move over, instead of tripping and things like that. I loved the whole cast too. Not just Van Dyke, not just Mary Tyler Moore, but Maury Amsterdam was the man. He played Buddy, and then Rose Marie, who played who was the what was her name? Sally Rogers. Mel Cooley, Richard Deacon. He's the man, the balding, guy who Buddy used to make fun of all the time, and even Little Richie. Excuse me.
Mel Cooley sounds like an awesome rapper name. Just gonna put that out there.
But yeah, no, I loved it. It was such a great show. A lot of really good episodes too. There was one episode that was it was kind of like almost like a horror episode, all about peanuts, where Dick Van Dyke ends up coming out of a closet, like just like peanuts fly everywhere. I don't really remember why. Maybe it was walnuts actually, but excuse me.
I'm so confused right now. I don't remember that at all.
I wish I knew more about the actual episode. I forgot all about it, but
I wish I know less.
No, I'm telling you, it's really good.
Yeah. I think this is pretty cool that we have Carl Reiner versus his son. Rob Reiner.
That's true.
Thank you, Mary Lou. It was walnuts.
Walnuts, yeah. Somebody remembers it.
It's a very popular thing. I think it was called "It May Look Like a Walnut." It actually was ranked at number 15 as one of the 100 greatest episodes of all time.
Oh, well. By who? By RJ Gunn?
By Dick Van Dyke.
By TV Guide. TV Guide.
By Dick Van Dyke.
Like the ultimate.
First 14 are also Dick Van Dyke.
Yes, walnuts replaced their thumbs. He was just it was a Halloween episode, I think, but anyways, great show. So my vote is Dick Van Dyke all the way.
I was gonna say the show also pushed some boundaries as well. Mary Tyler Moore, I think she was a little younger, right? Than Dick Van Dyke too. He didn't think that she was gonna be the right fit until she came to our audition, just based on her age. But she would be on the show in capri pants. And a lot of other shows at that time showed women in dresses. She was like, well, most of the housewives I knew wore pants. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, she I think she pushed the boundaries at that point of like what people's idea of like a housewife was, or what a woman was supposed to do. Like she was in charge. And you kind of have that sense of empowerment there that I see. So Dick Van Dyke was hilarious. even the stuff like, yeah, it was funny then, but it's also funny now. Like he did kind of some of the slapstick stuff, but he also funny facial expressions. I think he did it better than I Love Lucy. Honestly, like I felt like this stuff was a little funnier. But so RJ, you're going with Dick Van Dyke. That's your final answer.
Yeah, you kind of reminded me. I mean, Dick Van Dyke, first off, still going strong. You know, he's been in so much stuff even after that. Even if we talk about newer stuff, Mary Poppins Returns, Night at the Museum, Curious George, and then going back further, Diagnosis Murder, and Dick Tracy. He was also in the new Dick Van Dyke Show, which I never really watched, but it was kind of a continuation. But again, I'm not too into it, but he's been the recipient of 5 Emmys, a Tony, a Grammy, inducted into the Hall of Fame of Television. He's a Disney legend, literally recognized as a Disney legend. And then finally this year, he was honored with the Kennedy Center honor, which is huge. Not to mention, we have to point out, he was oh, never mind. Sorry, I was talking about something else. His brother. Sorry, I was reading something. His brother too, Jerry Van Dyke, is awesome too. He portrayed Luther Van Dam in Coach, and they look.
He was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Awesome. Jean-Claude Van Dyke.
I used to love Coach. I should go back and watch Coach. That was a good show.
Yeah, Coach went on to be in a great show called Parenthood, which was popular, the last 10 years or so. But yeah, Jake, 93 years old. He was dancing in Mary Poppins Returns. So, but yeah, that's it. So I chose Dick Van Dyke. Mike, anything left to say about Dick Van Dyke?
I mean, it was one of the first shows on TV to cast a black actor in a main role. That didn't have to do with maids or, laborers or anything like that. In an episode where the babies got switched at birth, which was pretty groundbreaking at the time as well. And led to other actors getting hired for TV shows, namely Bill Cosby for I Spy, which was also produced by Carl Reiner. So, the show did do a lot of things for the civil rights movement and, sort of changing the perception of, what TV actors, actresses, and what that could look like as well. So just, to add a little spice in there.
All right. So what are you guys choosing?
I still got to go with All in the Family, though.
Ooh, we're down to Andy here. Dick Van Dyke, 1. All in the Family, 1. Where are you standing?
In his house.
2.
I'm actually sitting in my house. I can correct you.
2.
I'm gonna go with the show that I watched way more, and I would still watch it now. And that's All in the Family.
Hey.
No, that's fun. That's the fun.
What?
Mike went, hey.
Oh. So you're really choosing All in the Family? That's it? All in the Family?
No, it was a joke. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I thought you bashed All in the Family before, so I thought you were still.
No, he did. No, he didn't. No, he loves that show.
Didn't one of you say you didn't watch as much of it? Oh, it was you, Mike, wasn't it?
What? No, I love All in the Family.
Somebody said they didn't watch it as much.
I said I didn't watch a lot of Dick Van Dyke when I was young.
I own almost the entire All in the Family series on DVD. You remember what DVDs are, right?
Yeah. And yes, Timothy, you do have to be a dad to be on the show.
I mean, Pete Hutch was on here, and he was just a daddy. So
that's true. That's true.
So you can slide.
He's an uncle. I mean, he has some experience.
That's close.
With kids. Yeah, that's all right.
Well, this is it, guys. All in the Family has been named the top Nick at Night show, according to Mike and Andy.
Please put your disappointments in the comment below, and how many episodes it will take us to regain your trust.
You can't deny All in the Family as a classic show.
RJ is speechless.
Thank
I think
God.
I think RJ is typing in the.
Oh gosh.
You can't.
Well, anyways,
You can't deny the cultural significance of All in the Family, and that's where
I
I'm
mean-
basing most of my ideas.
I mean, I could deny it. I think it's I don't. Think it's a
Well,
great show.
you would be wrong.
Well, all right. While we're at it, I'm angry now, so I'm just going to get into it.
Oh, we're going on a tirade.
The fact that the Mary Tyler Moore Show is not in the top 8, if not in the top 2, pisses me off too. Because Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore, both of those shows are my top 2 shows. Not to mention, nobody else chose Dragnet, even though Dragnet is one of the best shows ever made with Joe freaking Friday. And then you have Get Smart, which spawned a movie with the friggin' Rock. And then you had Lassie. Who doesn't like Lassie? Like,
I prefer Mr. Ed over Lassie.
Yeah,
or
me
the
too.
Partridge Family singing about Albuquerque, New Mexico. Why not? Or Taxi? Like, what are we doing here?
No, Taxi was great. Taxi was on my list.
Taxi was not on my list. I never got into it.
I did like the Mary Tyler Moore Show, but she didn't make it after all.
I felt like we didn't. It was either Mary Tyler Moore or Dick Van Dyke. Was there any difference in the show?
Yes, Mary Tyler Moore was about a news reporter, and she went out. It was showing her going off to work, and she was a single woman. Rhoda was her next door neighbor, who then spawned a Rhoda show, which is not good, but that's fine. But yeah, and then Dragnet is like the ultimate, like this is where every cop show came from afterwards. Like it's basically Law and Order 1950s. Like it's so good.
Law and Order's been going on that long.
Yeah, it's
I know but yeah, no, and the Partridge Family, I would say I like the Partridge Family better than I like the Brady Bunch. And that's because I actually had the record back in the day for the Partridge Family. David Cassidy, Danny Bonaducci, Shirley Jones. But they had what's that song? I'm just gonna. I think I love you. I think
about a sunny
I love
day, I bet.
you now. What am I so afraid of? Great song, man. But anyways,
sorry, RJ. Sorry to disappoint you.
That's all right. We got
what about
Jake
you guys? Was there any other ones that should have been on there? Come on, get happy.
Yeah, that show is the epitome of cheese. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't remember it being an amazing show, but I loved all the songs, so that got me. But the Partridge Family album I had on record. My mom had it on record, and I would listen to it all the time. Point Me in the Direction of Albuquerque. Brand New Me. I Can Feel Your Heartbeat. Like, such good songs. I'm going to listen to that later now.
So should we do a song in style of Partridge Family?
The what? Yeah, I would do it.
I know. Oh, hey, in the meantime, while we're waiting for season 3, we're going to push out a song. We got some music coming out. So don't all jump for joy all at once here. But I think the next song's pretty damn good. It's one of my favorites, so I think others will enjoy it.
Well, hey, I'm excited.
Way to promote it, RJ.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, it's great. I love it. No, I'm excited too. It's a good song, and I'm excited about some of the ones that are kind of still in working mode. And then you have sent me like 20 beats over the last month and a half that I have not really dug into too much. So I'm excited. I think there's a lot to dig through. Plus, we've decided for season 3 that we're really going to try to plan it out a little bit more, get those topics kind of solidified so we have some time to kind of really not panic 3 days before the podcast and come up with a topic. So I'm excited about that.
At least this time around, we had 2 topics at the same time. So we decided we would just do those episodes back to back. So that was a good stress reliever for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any ideas that people have, throw them our way.
Yep. Yeah. Feel free to hop on Facebook and YouTube. Also, feel free over the next couple weeks to share some of the older episodes. There are 43 episodes to choose from. So feel free to feel free to do that.
There's at least 2 or 3 good ones in there that you can show your friends and family.
There's got to be a little bit.
RJ's in a boy band now.
Sweet.
I'm always in a boy band.
Dream come true.
It's true. Jake wasn't here for that episode where you talked about your love of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys last week,
NSYNC,
right?
Please, you can't be both. No, I actually do like both. I actually like them all, man. 98 Degrees. I just saw Boys to Men.
Here we go.
A couple years ago. O-Town.
O-Town.
BB Mac. Funniest comedians.
We are. Thank you. We are the funniest comedians. I appreciate it.
Love the compliment.
They're hilarious. They're hilarious, those boys.
I think funniest comedians will drop.
That's not how Lori sounds. By the way, that wasn't
Sometimes she does.
Oh, Mikey. Don't make me come down there. Mikey.
Yeah, I don't know how funniest comedians would go. As much as we play off each other, all 3 of us have very different opinions on what's funny. I think the only reason we can make each other laugh here on the show is because we're all talking about the same subject. But when it comes to humor, I feel like we're all very different.
But if we're not talking about the same subject, we find neither one of us funny at any point.
It's true. Our group chats are very sterile.
Our greatest loves, the other people hate. The only thing that really kind of unites us, I think, is this podcast and wrestling. That's pretty much it. All the shows that I'm like, you need to watch. Andy always disappoints me and says, like, I turned it off 10 minutes into it. It was terrible.
That was just The Wall.
And then he's always like, you should watch this movie. It's about drugs. It's great.
That was a good movie. What the hell was it? Kill the Messenger? Was that it? That was a good movie.
Probably. Druggy. But no, I was just I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I told Andy, I was like, best TV show or best game show in like years, The Wall, with Chris Hardwick from Singled Out, and he's like, dude, it lasted like 11 and a half minutes and I turned it off. Like, it's a great show.
It's good. It was good.
Yeah.
I like it.
But that's it. We're just gonna continue to argue in the season 2 finale. There might not be a season 3. We'll see. But I'm happy Dick Van Dyke made it into the top 2. It's deserving. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us again. And be on the lookout for season 3. I love how crisis is in money. Dollar sign.
Should be negative dollar signs because we're dads.
Be on the lookout for make it rain in the college fund. But yeah, hey, look out for season 3 in October. We're very excited. So please don't forget about us in the coming weeks. We will try to reach out to you guys on Facebook and social media to keep you guys engaged with us. But feel free to send your topics and your questions and your comments and your concerns to Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, that's it. Anything left to say, guys?
Andy's phone battery didn't die. We got to finish.
It didn't. It's getting to. It's in the red. So, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thank you guys. We are Udamia. Hello. You didn't ask for it, but here we are anyways. Season 2 over.